Boxing now, and David Haye will fight Wladimir Klitschko for the IBF and WBO heavyweight titles on June the 20th. Britain's former undisputed world cruiserweight champion made an impressive start to his bid for heavyweight recognition when he knocked out Monty Two Guns Barrett in London back in November. He had been lined up to fight one of the two Klitschko brothers, both of whom, of course, hold heavyweight titles. Well, it's Wladimir, not Vitaly, who will face on June the 20th. That fight, of course, will be live and exclusive on Setanta Sports. Oh, I'm delighted to say David Haye now joins me on the phone. Good morning, David. Thanks very much for joining us here on Setanta Sports News. Now, you've been pushing for this fight for more than a year. How delighted are you to have it finally put pen to paper?
Yeah, it's a real big weight off my mind. You know, the whole negotiations are painful. But you know, everyone said the heavyweight division is not like any other sport, any other weight division. You know, some of the moves people tried to pull and some of the angles that people have come from is completely different. And yeah, I'm feeling it at the moment. You know, I got to the top of the pile as a cruiserweight. You know, I started off from nowhere and became the undisputed #1 in the world, and that's exactly what I'm going to do at heavyweight.
Well, you didn't do too badly against Monty Barrett, did you, with a win back there at the O2 in November? Yeah,
Monty Barrett, he was a tricky customer. You know, Wladimir actually boxed him. I think Wladimir took him 7 rounds. I knocked him out in 5 rounds. So they both had similar results against the same opponent. But my one was a bit more entertaining and a bit more explosive. And that's exactly how the fight's going to go. You know, I'm going to go out there and really put it on him. He's never fought anybody who's been in shape. He's never fought anybody who's motivated, who anyone's in their peak. You know, the only time he's ever fought anybody that's actually come to win, we've actually knocked him out.
Klitschko, of course, retained his belts back in December when he knocked out Hassan Rahman.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to want to cling on to his belts now, David? Is that going to make him even more determined in June?
Yeah, if you look at Hassan Rahman has been washed up for many years now. He's pretty much a has-been in the heavyweight division. He's just a name, you know. He threw one good shot against Lennox Lewis years and years ago, and he's held on to that. He's held on to that one punch. Since then, he's been conclusively knocked out and beaten by many different fighters. And then Wladimir goes and fights, and they're the type of opponents that Vladimir's been feasting on for the last few years. He's been killing the heavyweight division. He really has been sort of brought the division into disarray, and people are interested in heavyweight boxing simply because of these two big Eastern European brothers who come out there and put their safety first mentality in the ring, and nobody's interested in that. People don't want to go to a boxing match to watch chess. They want to go out there and see a slugfest. They want to see bombs. They want to see excitement. And that's exactly what I'm going to bring him on June 20th.
Now, Klitschko has said that in terms of opponents and the bantering, shall we say, that goes on before the fights, you're perhaps top of the crudity, and he wants to silence your mouth with his fists. What do you make of that?
Listen, he can say what he wants. You know, he had lots of opportunity to knock out Hassan Rahman, but it took him 17 rounds. You know, he had Sultan Ibragimov in front of him, and he just waved his hand in front of him. You know, I'll scare him to death. That's why the fight took so long to be made, because he wanted to secure his future after I beat him. That's what dragged this fight so long. But you know, the fight's finally here, so it's his opportunity to actually do it on the night. You know, all you've got to look for is any one of my fights to see that I come out and throw bombs. I come out and I'm exciting. You know, you can't say the same about him. I'm the one who's going to make this fight. I'm the one who's going to bring the excitement, and he's going to be stretched out at the end of it.
You said that Klitschko's last opponents were cowards. I take it you don't put yourself into that category, David.
Hell no. That's one. He's never fought anybody who's been, you know, a genuine #1 in the world. You know, I was without any shadow of a doubt the best fighter at 200 pound at cruiserweight, and I've moved up in weight now. He's never fought anybody who's been a champion, a real champion in heavyweight or any weight below that. And he's going to see the difference between fighting these washed-up bums that he's been fighting for so many years and fighting someone who's hungry and dedicated and is going to come with a serious strategy. Not just most of his opponents turn up just to pick up their paycheck. That's their strategy. The strategy is, okay, where do I pick my paycheck up from in the morning? You know, when I get out of hospital. No, that's not what I'm coming with a serious strategy to knock this guy out.
You initially called out to Vitaly. Is Klitschko a warm-up for Vitaly for you? Sorry, Wladimir.
Vitaly was supposed to have been first, but then he sort of backtracked. He agreed. We shook hands, looked me in the eye and said, we're going to make this fight happen. he then backtracked and then went and fought Juan Carlos Gomez. And, you know, nobody was interested in that. Satanta didn't pick up that fight. No British broadcaster actually picked up that fight. That's how interesting that fight was. You know, he could have fought me and it would have been a mega fight, but no, he decided to fight Juan Carlos Gomez, who no one's ever heard of. Well, there you go. And so he leaves his little brother in the firing line now. So once I've blasted him out, then I'm going to get hold of his big brother.
Brilliant. Well, as you've said, viewers can watch that fight exclusively live on Setanta. Now, the venue,
yeah.
Bit of speculation about that. Is it 90% going to be in Germany? Because I heard Stamford Bridge fell through.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be in Europe somewhere. Definitely not England. If I was a betting man, I'd say it'd probably be Germany. I'm not sure where, but we'll sort of see. It's not a bad place to box if you're going over there to knock somebody out. If I was going over there to win on points, it would be the last place I'd want to go. But my whole strategy, just like my strategy was when I won the WBC and WA titles against John McMormack, was to go over to someone's hometown and knock them spark out. That's exactly what I did. You can't leave this type of fight to the judges, particularly in someone's hometown. You've got to go there and rip the title off the champion. That's exactly what I'm aiming to do.
I'm sure I know the answer to this one, David, but you don't need your hometown crowd behind you, do you?
Listen, it'll be lovely. I really would like my hometown crowd, and believe it or not, I'd say there'll be thousands of people coming over to wherever the fight is to support me. So even though it's not my hometown, it will feel like it because the people are really going to come out in droves and really, really get behind this fight because it's an important fight for heavyweight boxing. You know, it's going to really put heavyweight boxing back on the map, and people want to be part of that, and that's why people are going to come out and support me.
Well, it's surely going to be one of the biggest heavyweight fights of the decade, David. What are you going to be doing to prepare between now and then? I
just train as usual. I'm a professional athlete. I always keep myself in good nick. You know, I'm going to start my full training in early May and really, really push it to another level.
David, we wish you all the best of luck with that. May the banter continue, and we look forward to that. You're going into the ring, though, surely with all the conviction that you can take his belts from him, no doubt.
Definitely. I know what his style's like. I've seen him a million times before. You know, I've seen him live, and I know exactly how to beat him. And not only beat him, but to destroy him.
Your round predictions, David, on when you're going to destroy him?
Probably about, if he goes past 4 rounds, I'll be very, very surprised.
Wonderful, David. I'll head down to the bookies now. Best of luck with that, and thanks as ever for catching up with us today on Standard Sports News.